In the year 2247, the Galactic Cultural Exchange Initiative had become a way of life. Every human reaching adulthood was paired with an alien companion for 2 years of mandatory cultural immersion, living together, learning each other's languages and customs, and building the kind of understanding that diplomacy alone could never achieve. The program used complex psychological algorithms to ensure compatible matches. Jacob Reeves expected a quiet, predictable companion. He was a librarian in New Seattle's Archive District, a man of structure and solitude who spent his days preserving humanity's history. But the assignment message flashing on his console read, Companion Assignment, Kerra of the Ash Plains Tribe. Species, Vrakai. Arrival tomorrow. The Vrakai were legendary warriors from a harsh, unforgiving world, a culture built around strength, combat, and survival. Few had joined the program, and most caused enough chaos to be sent home early. Jacob assumed it was a clerical mistake and filed an appeal. The answer came back swiftly, no error. Assignment final. Prepare for arrival. Kerra arrived like a storm, 7 feet of muscle, scarred skin marked by tribal honor patterns, eyes like tempered steel. She wore little against the cold, carried weapons that broke city laws, and surveyed Jacob's neatly arranged apartment with disdain. "This is home," she asked in broken but understandable standard. "Where do you train? Where are your weapons? How do you defend such a soft dwelling?" Jacob tried explaining that urban Earth was safe, that they had police and security systems. She looked at him like he was something fragile and pitiful. "You let others guard you. You have no scars, no marks of battle. You are weak." She circled him like a predator testing prey. The spirits made a mistake. The days that followed were chaos. Kerra refused to use the guest room, choosing instead to sleep on the living room floor. She woke before sunrise for combat drills that shook the walls and terrified the neighbors. She scoffed at his vegetarian meals, mocked his exercise routines, and dismissed his work as pointless. Within a week, Jacob's peaceful life had been shattered, noise complaints, worried messages from the exchange office, and endless tension. Finally, exhausted, Jacob confronted her. "You can't keep treating me like I'm beneath you," he said. "This is supposed to be an exchange, not a war." Kerra's voice was cool and certain. "In my tribe, respect is earned. Weak do not demand it, they prove their worth." Her words stung because deep down, Jacob knew she wasn't entirely wrong. He had built a life free from conflict or risk. "If you think I'm weak," he asked quietly, "why stay at all?" For the first time, her hard expression faltered. "My tribe exiled me," she admitted. "I questioned our ways. Said we should learn from others, not only fight them. They called me coward. Sent me here to fail." In that moment, Jacob saw her differently, not as a threat, but as someone displaced and struggling, just like him. From then on, he stopped trying to make her adapt to his world and began trying to understand hers. He asked questions, about the Vrakai, their traditions, what strength meant to them. Kerra, surprised by genuine curiosity instead of judgment, began to share. Strength, she explained, wasn't just about power. It was endurance, resilience, and the courage to face hardship without breaking. Her morning drills weren't aggression, they were meditation, ritual, memory. "When comfort is gone," she told him one night, "what remains? If you have built nothing inside yourself, you fall. Vrakai endure because we carry our strength within." Jacob thought for a while, then said, "But when strength is all you have, what happens when you can't fight anymore? When you're too old or hurt?" "My work keeps knowledge alive so others can grow beyond survival." They didn't agree, not at first, but their conversation started bridging the gap between them. Jacob began joining her drills, clumsy, slow, hopelessly uncoordinated. "Still weak," she teased, "but less weak." In return, Kerra accompanied him to the archives, initially unimpressed but soon captivated by humanity's long history of war, strategy, and endurance. They began working together, documenting Vrakai combat philosophy for the Galactic Exchange records, Jacob providing structure, Kerra supplying insight. Then came the day everything changed. A mechanical failure caused part of the archives to collapse, trapping Jacob and 2 others beneath debris. Air was running out. Rescue crews were en route but progress was slow. When Kerra heard the alert, she arrived before them, taking command without hesitation. "My companion is inside," she declared. "I go." Against all objections, she forced her way through unstable wreckage, moving debris no human could lift, navigating with instinct and precision. She reached Jacob's group in 12 minutes, less than half the rescue estimate. The air was thin, Jacob barely conscious. She could carry only 2 at once. By protocol, she should have taken the worst injured, but instead, she lifted Jacob. "I carry my companion first," she said simply. "Then return for others. This is the Vrakai way." 3 dangerous trips later, she had them all out, collapsing only once everyone was safe. When Jacob visited her in recovery, she managed a faint smirk. "You are still weak," she murmured. "But you are my weak human. So I protect." Jacob laughed softly. "Thank you, for not giving up on me, or this." Kerra studied him with something close to pride. "You come to training every day, though you fail often. You listen, learn, fight in your own way. This is also strength." From that point, they were no longer reluctant partners but true companions. She helped him find courage, he showed her compassion and patience. They challenged each other, learned from one another, and slowly built something neither expected. As the end of their 2-year assignment approached, they both faced a decision. One night, after training, Kerra said, "I am supposed to return to the Ash Plains. Prove my survival, maybe regain my place." Jacob hesitated. "Is that what you want?" She was silent for a long time. "My tribe no longer feels like home. I have learned too much to go back unchanged." Her eyes met his. "What does a human do after exchange?" "Most go back to normal life," he said, "but there's no rule against staying together." Her lips curved into a rare grin. "Then I stay, if soft librarian will have wild alien warrior as companion." Jacob smiled. "I think my life's been far too quiet without you." "Still weak," she said, amused. "But less weak." Months later, they stood side by side at an interspecies academic conference, presenting their research. When asked what he'd learned from the program, Jacob replied, that the algorithm was smarter than I gave it credit for. "I thought I needed peace and predictability. Instead, I got someone who shattered everything I believed about strength, and taught me what it means to live, not just exist." He looked at Kerra. "Everyone else got normal companions. I got the best one." Kerra added, "And I learned that strength takes many forms, that learning is not weakness, and that tribe can be chosen." "He is still terrible at combat," she smirked, "but he is mine." Later, as they walked home through the neon-lit streets of New Seattle, their steps matched in easy rhythm. They had become more than an assignment, 2 souls from opposite worlds, bound by respect, challenge, and choice. They had proven that true companionship isn't about similarity or comfort, but about growth, the courage to face what's different, and the willingness to love someone who makes your life harder, and infinitely better.